and bottles is popping. I'm beyond Sanders on haters, this ice bucket dropping over their head with it. Extra the cred with it. You either fight or flight, I ain't one for the ledge living. I do it for the one that died but fed millions with soul food, flowed, and stock my family.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
From the end zone, here comes Williams.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now it's Tannehill off the bootleg. And incomplete to open things up. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
The first carry now. This is Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
This defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he is going to have a Lions first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
The Lions at 4 and 3, a game over 500. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Hey, a confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers.
Christian Watson
with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Throwing again on second down. Tannehill, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble.
They started this drive backed up against the wall by the turnover, but I love their fight, planted their feet, and forced the incompletion on first down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. Touchdown! 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point try now for Crosby. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. So the completion good for 7 there. And that will bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
Facing 2nd and short, that gives you a chance to go for a bigger play through the air. But I think he said to himself, why not just handle this one? Got all the yards you needed and then some, and made that snap a huge success.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all three phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick six.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Running room at the 50. Look out. 20, 10. He will score. Touchdown, Lions.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking out some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that third consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers completed out left to Dobbs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
A gain of 3, second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the 38, Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. Now Rodgers. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
This is not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right.
Tannehill intercepted again. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down on the 37. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Yeah, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
DJ Reader there on the tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He finds Watson complete. He's going to pick up the 1st down and then some. Touchdown, Packers. Only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Crosby with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
Let's go. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Adrian Amos with a pick. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He hits Dobbs on the crosser. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Taken down on the play by Aiden Hutchinson. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Jones. And he's going to come up well short as they rally up to stop him at about the 16. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt.
And he's loose again. Touchdown, Detroit. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit.
Again, Elder Partner, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead now down to 20. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by a Vitu Melifonwu. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Alec Pierce from 10 yards out. And the Lions get a bit closer. Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that will cut this lead down to 13. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. And it's a Packers touchdown. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. in the second quarter, and already his second touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20.
41, Lions 21. Mason Crosby to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
And he's got Pierce.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
That's good for a Lions.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill.
Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Again, Tannehill. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Tannehill.
And this pass broken up. The contact, well of time there. And now 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And again, it's Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes.
There he goes, left side. The 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They begin the drive with Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That was all Preston Smith. Navigating into the backfield. He gets the tackle for loss.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call. but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. On the return is Williams. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
First down Lions on a pickup of 13. Off play action, Tannehill. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets that big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
On 2nd and 12, Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quay Walker. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. They gave themselves options there on the third down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust for the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and get the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I wonder if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Tannehill. This one swung out to Williams. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Finding Williams once more, complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Always important as a defender on third down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. He's got the first down and more than that. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now it's Tannehill. Looking for Hockenson, and he's got him. Touchdown, Detroit. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Lions get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues.
And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble
tee. And the lead is down to 20. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Well, clear running situation, trying to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Here's Williams to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Now Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here comes the Lions punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Ready.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee.
Let's go.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Green Bay, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.